Hi everyone, welcome to a Sip and Spin Spindle Spotlight. Today's spindle is a single cross-arm spindle made by Muddy Duck. For more information on how to order one of these spindles, please see the description below. One of the things that I really like about this spindle is the fact that it is so portable, and you have the choice when you order it of two different shaft sizes. You can either go with the longer shaft or the shorter shaft, both made out of bamboo, which are very strong and very durable, which I really like. I'm going to set the longer shaft aside for just a second because the shorter shaft is what we would typically associate with this style of spindle. Now, the really cool thing about these spindles is that this right here is a hook spindle in and of itself. So this is likely one of the very first tools that early spinners would have used. So to get this spindle started, I'm just going to start with the hooked stick technique. The fiber that I'm using is combed top merino because it's the easiest to come by. This style of spindle, you can spin any type of fiber that you want on it. I'm finding that the longer fibers that have the longer staple length are a little bit easier when it comes to drafting. I don't get as much bounce back that I would when I have tried spinning this with down fibers. And I do feel like this would be a good spindle for a beginner because it lends itself to the park and draft method, and that's what I'm going to demonstrate in order to get this particular style of spindle started. So the way that I like to start is taking a small bit of fiber, wrapping it over the hook, and sort of locking it. And then I will start building energy. The direction that you choose to twist is entirely up to you, whether it be clockwise or counterclockwise, S or Z, that is entirely up to you. Just be consistent in whatever you decide. So I'm going to build quite a bit of energy. And as you can see, my thumb and index finger, it's stopping the twist. So right now I have a lot of energy built up in this single. So I'm going to set it down, which is going to be parking it, and I am going to stop the twist from traveling past my fingers. I'm going to draft out some, and if the twist does travel a little bit past my fingers, that's okay. I will simply untwist it and draft out a little bit more, and then let my fingers go, and the twist will travel from the hook up to my thumb and index finger. And then I'm going to repeat that process one more time because I want to be able to wrap it around the cross arm at least once before spinning again. So I will build twist, and I can either do that traditional method by rolling it across my leg or just by holding it. And as you can see, there is a lot of energy built up. I will park it, and it kind of bounces forward. As always, I'm going to use my thumb and index finger to stop the twist. And this gives me so much time then to work with the fiber in terms of drafting out. Let it go, and it will travel. And I still have quite a bit of energy here. So I'm going to pinch. I'm going to draft out a little bit more. Stop it. Give it a little bit of a tug to get the twist to go. And so now I am ready to put this on my crossarm. I'm still holding here because I don't want that twist to travel past my fingers. So I've got this little bit of a hook loop. I have a little bit of a loop, and I'm going to tuck that down in there like so. So it's right there. Angle this a little bit. Now, winding on, there are many, many different ways to wind on. For me, I have discovered that what works best for me is to treat this like a double cross arm spindle. Even though it's a single, I'm still going to treat these as my 4 arms. So when I wind this on, I'm going to go over 2, under 1, over 2, under 1, and I will build my cop that way. So I will go over 2, under 1, over 2, under 1, and now I am ready to start spinning again. Now this particular spindle, and I'm going to make sure it kind of hooks underneath there. You can do a half hitch if you want. I am not going to do a half hitch on this one. This is designed to be spun suspended. And I have this fluff here, and I'll talk about distaffs in another show. What I have discovered is if you've got a silicone bracelet, they work really well for tucking fiber underneath. So suspended, it's spinning. I am going to be pinching off where I don't want the twist to go, drafting out, and then letting the twist go up to where I have locked it off. As it's going, I find short forward draw to work quite well. I'm going to wrap on one more time, wind on one more time. If I can remember how I did it. Over 2. Okay, there we go. So it's always, the other thing. I know that when this is facing me, that's how I'm winding on. That's going to be my front, which is very, very nice to remember. Now, I talked a little bit about park and draft. So if I suspend it and get a lot of twist built up, a lot of energy, I have a lot of energy, I can set it down, draft out, and let the twist travel up to where my fingers are. Like so. And the nice thing about park and draft, because I have this single arm, it sits down on the table quite nicely. So then I can pick it up, build more twist, set it down, and as you can see, there's tons of energy built up. Draft out to my heart's content. It's facing me, so I know this is the right way. I will go over 2, under 1, over 2, under 1. Like so. And in doing so, I have this building up, but the nice thing is, and I'll demonstrate what happens, going over 2 and under 1, it's still secure on here, so when I pull the hooked stick that is my shaft out, it's not going to fall off. And so now when I go to ply, when I go to ply this, it will just come off quite easily. And I'll do just a quick butterfly to get it to come off. Like so. So as I build this up, I could wind on, and winding the cop that way, it keeps it mostly centered around this piece, and it enables me to take it off quite easily. So This is a single cross-arm spindle, or Basque style spindle by Muddy Duck. Thank you so much for checking out this particular Spindle's Spotlight. If you'd like a little bit of additional information, including the pros and cons for this particular spindle, please check out the description below.